All right. I started the recording. So, again, welcome everybody to our TFF Tuesday training. Today, what we're going to talk about specifically is going to be conference. As you know, conference is coming up in February, the first weekend of February, I believe, maybe second weekend of February. I think it's the 9th to the 10th, something to that effect.
7th through the 9th?
7th to the 9th, okay. In 2017, the early bird tickets are going to go on sale on October 16th, $225, right? And you think, oh my gosh, that's so expensive. It isn't. And I'll tell you why. I mean, it is. I get it initially. But they're going to give you 3 wrap rewards when you buy your early bird ticket. There are options to buy the ticket in a payment plan. I think it's maybe $100 and something, something like that. Maybe 3 months. I know last time it was like 80 something, so it might be $100 and something a month for 3 payments, possibly something to that effect. I don't know. But once you get on and you're able to, 9th to 11th, thanks. You're able to get on, you'll be able to put the payment plan on there. They're going to give you 3 wrap rewards. That means you can buy 3 boxes of wraps for $25 and sell those wraps and make $300 cash. And there you go. You got everything paid for. It comes out to be free. Okay, so the company always gives you the opportunity to pretty much buy your ticket for free. Simply wrap your way to conference free. Then obviously there's going to be hotel costs. There's going to be travel costs that's going to come into play. But it will be totally worth it to you to get to conference. I promise you. We've got some people on here who went to conference, who have gone to conference, had experienced conference. Some of you have experienced a green carpet, and many of you experienced the It Works You, which was kind of a mini conference per se. This is going to be the conference of all conference. It has the party of all parties of all parties of all parties involved. It's a huge party with literally several 10,000 people or more. I think last time like 18,000 people were there at partying together, dancing, and they had American authors there. It was just pretty awesome time. So anyways, I want to give you a little story. Really, I want to let Susan talk about our story of our first conference. Our first conference, we went as diamonds. As you know, I went diamond in the first 6 months of our business, and Susan didn't want anything to do with this business, okay? And she said she finally realized that she should probably be a little more supportive about what we were going to do. I really wanted to go. We didn't have the extra money to do it. Even with our diamond checks, we didn't have the extra money to go to conference. However, Susan knew, and I was very disappointed, and Susan knew how important it was to me for me to go. But I really wanted her to go because I knew what Tina Hadcliffe and Lori Murphy were talking about. They were saying, you've got to be there. It's life-changing. This kind of, you'll get to meet people. At the time, we only had, 2,000 people at conference, I think it was. And it's grown significantly since then. But Susan pretty much made it happen. She realized, and now let you tell how she did that. That's how important it was to me. And after that, we can just tell you what it did for our business after we went to conference. And we'll have a few other people talk about conference and why it's so important to go, why you want to do everything you can to get there. And those of you who went to It Works You, you know what I'm talking about, to be at It Works You and what it did for you. Conference is going to take you, as Mark said, to a whole nother level. It just is going to. So anyways, Susan, tell them a little bit about what you did to get us there, and just, the crazy things that you did to get us there.
Okay, so true story. It's a true story. I was so not I love It Works before our first conference. Getting to conference is what actually kind of changed me over. But let me tell you about the process to get there. So, and I tell you this to encourage you to do whatever you have to do to make it happen. Don't wait till the week before, okay, like I did. Or was it the month before? I can't remember. Whatever. I decided very late in the game, And you can't do that anymore. But anyway, I knew that he really wanted to go. And even though I was totally not supportive of It Works or what Anthony was doing, even though he was a diamond. He was a guy who was a diamond, and It Works was so much smaller than I so didn't appreciate what that meant. And I was talking to Lori one day. For those of you that don't know, our upline, Lori Murphy, is also my sister-in-law. And so she was just saying how her and Eric were going to go and that we should come and that we were going to be on this diamond-only cruise and it was going to be so much fun. And she said, well, you guys haven't even left the baby. Ellie was like, I don't know, 18 months at the time. You haven't even left Ellie, not once yet. Y'all just come, get away. We'll hang out, adult time. And I was so freaked out about leaving Ellie overnight. Y'all know how it is when it's your first kid. So I was like, no, I can't do it. But I knew that we needed some time to just like decompress. And that was the truth. And I knew he wanted to go. So I was like, well, this is a perfect opportunity. I want to go hang out with Lori and Murph anyway, without kids, like just have fun. And that's really why I made it happen. That's the honest to God truth. Like I wasn't all like, I love It Works or anything like that at that point. And so
Sure.
I know. How could I be like that? That's terrible. Anyway, so what we did, I had a free ticket just out there for something I had done. And so I had a free ticket that I could use. And then we had some...
For an airline ticket, by the way.
Airline, sorry.
No,
an airline ticket.
Not to showbiz, but... Or,
No, I had a free airline ticket that was available to us. And then we also had some couple thousand Sky Miles or whatever also. And so what I did is... I didn't tell him. I told Lori, and I was like, okay, I'm going to see if I can work this out. Because like you said, we really didn't have the extra money built into the budget. It was in January. It was after Christmas. You know, we just didn't have it, just to be honest. And even though that diamond check was nice extra money, we had a lot of bills. We got into It Works to pay for our childcare and some extra things. And so we were using our It Works money to pay bills. Like, that's just the real. And so I booked Anthony a flight using our Sky Miles. I booked myself a separate flight to fly later. And I used
two different airlines.
So 2 different airlines, 2 different flights. We shared a hotel room with another couple. I don't remember what we did about tickets. Like, tickets didn't sell out like they do now. Like, you still had time to get tickets. This will not be the case. Y'all, they will sell out in a day or 2 days.
They sold out last year, less than 100 hours they were sold out.
So you want to be prepared. And I'll give my little spiel at the end of the story. So we got there, y'all, and I was excited. Like, I was like, okay, this is going to be fun. I'll, get to know more of the business. Let me tell you, it totally changed my life. Totally and completely changed my life because I saw the heart of the company, and what I had perceived It Works to be was like, oh, they're just trying to get somebody. They're just trying to sell something to sell to somebody, or they're just trying to I just still had this really negative opinion about network marketing, like a lot of people do. I'm not the only one out there that felt that way. And I really saw the heart of the company. And we were also very fortunate to talk to a lot of top leaders. Like, we just walked up to them, and this is Anthony's nature anyway, and it's always been this way with It Works and with us. And it's why we know a lot of people in It Works that are not on our team or in our upline, just outside people. If you've been in this business, my husband, he knows a lot of people. And this is why he goes up to people and he makes friends. And so we went up to top earners, and we talked to people for like a long time. And I was able to talk to top money earners, and they were just like, hey, I'm not a super outgoing person. I'm really introverted, but I'm still Ambassador Diamond. I'm still like making this money. And I really identified with those people and the stories, because I thought, oh, I don't have to be like him, who's super extroverted, who could sell snow. What is that saying? Sell snow or ice to an Eskimo or whatever that is. He could do it. I could not. I'm not a salesperson. And I love when my potential distributors tell me that I'm not a salesperson, because I'm like, oh, I got you. you're signing, because I'm not a salesperson either. I tell people like it is. Like, I'm just straight up honest with people, and they appreciate that. So they know that I'm not BSing them. And I knew that even with that kind of personality that I have, I could still be successful with It Works. And that grew my belief. I looked at the people on stage. I looked at the people that were in VIP, and I thought, I am no different than any one of those people, and I can do that too. And so that's what happened. We met a lot of people. I realized, again, this company is more about giving. I know some of you who went to It Works CU in Atlanta this year really felt the gives back and the heart of It Works, and what top earners and what people do, what we're all about is giving back and helping people. And if I could share that in words, what you feel and what you know in your heart to be true, it just speaks volumes. And I don't know if MT's out there, Nate, but shout out to my girl Stacy. We just have to pack lots of tissues and lots of hankies, because when you go to conference, you know you're going to cry, and that's just part of it. I remember one year we just literally cried the entire time, like from one segment to the next. We just cried because it's so powerful. It's
the
so
reason
awesome.
for that was that you have so many stories, people that you relate to that go across stage, from all backgrounds, all, just every different kind of person that you can think of has had success, and they pick out the stories based on some of that, based on who's working at that moment during conference, just different things. Different compelling stories, some rags to riches, some people who are just like the Walshes, who are, clinical psychologists, and the husband's an aerospace engineer. That wasn't necessarily a rags to riches type story. However, it was definitely a whole nother different side of things, right? They were already making six figures, a year, but they weren't making it a month, and now they're making it a month. So totally different lifestyle, right? So anyways,
don't cut me off. I'm not done.
Oh, my bad.
I'm
not done.
Okay. So one of the most important things that I could stress to you, though, is that the relationships that you build with your teams is next level. Like, you become closer. If you've looked at people on this team, if you looked at our leaders and you've noticed, like, man, they're all so close, they're tight-knit, it's because we've done this year after year, event after event with each other. And when you have those experiences together, your hearts just grow together, and you just are super close, and it's just amazing. So whatever you have to do. I love the story of our upline, Tina Hatcliffe, who slept in a bathtub to go to conference.
In the hotel.
The hotel. Her bed, because there was nowhere else to sleep, she slept in the bathtub with a pillow and a blanket to be at conference. And I just love that desperation, that desire to, I'm going to make this work for me. I'm going to get there. I would strongly encourage all of you to do the same. I'm seriously thinking of doing a separate group on trying to coordinate, if you guys want to drive together, if you want to share hotel rooms, just kind of coordinating. And I'll let you know about that later. But the best advice I can give you is that on the 16th, what day is that? Is that Friday? I don't even know. What day is that? Anyway, on the 16th, when they open that up, it's Sunday. So they'll probably open it up on right after the call on Sunday night. Have your money ready and know that it'll be crazy. It'll be crazy. It might not, it'll be really slow or whatever, but stick to it. Try to stick to getting it that night and do it, because you will not regret whatever sacrifice you have to make. If you have to go sell a box of wraps, if you have to go sell 2 boxes of wraps, whatever you need to do, or if you're gambling that money, you're paying that $225, and you know that you're going to get those 3 boxes of wraps, and you have to sell those wraps so that you can pay whatever bill you borrowed that money from. It will totally be worth whatever you have to do to get there. You will not be sorry. I promise you. I am so glad that for whatever reason, I wanted to be nice to Anthony 5 years ago. That doesn't happen often, right, Nate? I don't know why that came over me, and I wanted to be nice and do something totally thoughtful for him and go, because I was totally anti-It Works. But for whatever reason I did, and it's changed our lives, y'all. It totally changed our lives. So whatever you have to do, I stress to you, and whatever you need to do to get your team there. So if you personally need to not fly down and you need to drive your car so that you all can split gas, I would suggest doing that. Whatever it takes to get your team there is going to make the most difference. Not just you, but your team. And I would encourage you to use this week to contact every single person on your team. No matter how big your team is, no matter how many levels down they are, go and contact and talk to them on the phone, not message. Talk to them so they can hear your voice and hear how important this is. Okay,
most definitely. Did you talk about when they announced the good bonuses? No,
I did not talk.
Okay, so
I didn't talk that part.
I got this one now. So the other part of this was that was the very first year that they announced the good bonus. Okay. If those of you who are new don't know what the good bonus is, it's the GOOD, get out of debt bonus. Okay. Susan was not a diamond yet. I was not eligible for the diamond good bonus, but Susan said, I want to come home. That at that moment, she fell in love with the company. She fell in love with the people of the company. Yep. She looked at me and said, Anthony, I want to come home. And I was like, huh?
That part.
Yeah. She was like, I want to come home. Like, no, you can't. Yeah.
I thought, no, let me back it up, because I totally thought we were going to have this like movie moment. Oh, we're going to kiss with all this confetti falling down.
Literally, there was confetti. So. And
all this stuff, right? And I thought he's like so excited because I'm finally on board. And instead I got a look of like extreme fear, not like, oh my gosh, we're going to do this together. He was like, what? You can't quit your job. No.
Yeah, right. And I said, well, if you want to even be close to quitting your job, we have to go after this good bonus.
Yeah.
And she was so motivated, so ready to work, on board, a total 180, that 4 months later, we got the good bonus and she went diamond, because we were that determined. We wanted it that bad. We wanted to get out of debt that bad. We wanted her to come home with our babies that bad. And that we always ask that question, how bad do you want it? We wanted it bad.
My kids were worth it.
Yeah, and the nights that we didn't see them, the nights that we didn't tuck them in because the sitter did, were so worth it, because they don't remember any of that. they don't tell us, oh, Daddy, you weren't there, on 2012 in March when you were out rapping every night, every week. They don't remember that.
Yeah.
They just remember the fact that they have Daddy home every day now. So. That's how bad we wanted it. And we knew that we were going to have to sacrifice. We knew that we were going to have to invest in ourselves to get short-term to get some long-term benefits. So that's what the conference did for us. We have some other people here that have experienced conference in very different perspectives. That's the key to this business, is to understanding other people's perspectives. And finding out what other people get out of these same events. And that's why we're a team. So, Nate, I'm going to ask you to unmute you real quick. And Nate, tell us a little about, you've been with us till, were you at the first one with us? No, you weren't. No, you're at the second one. We can't hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, we can now. The second one. It was the second one. So you've been to 4 now, correct?
That's correct.
This will be your 4th. So tell us a little bit about your experiences and how it's changed, what you look forward to, what you got from it back in the day.
Yeah. Well, for me personally, I've been to a lot of conferences, set It Works aside, and I've actually put on conferences because I'm in IT. And so when I look at the conferences I've been to and the ones that It Works put on, I get a lot more out of the It Works ones, not because you do get business builder tips and things like that and the stories that people share, but the belief in yourself, the belief in the company. You actually get to see the heart of the company, and we got a glimpse of that at It Works U, and that was just a taste of what conference will be. It's just on a whole nother level, and to be able to go to conference and see that heart of that company at the corporate level, but also at the the higher ranks on a much larger scale is inspiring. I think it was last conference, after that one, when we came back, we signed up about 6 or 7 distributors immediately. And so that was as a direct result of us going to conference. So
without question,
that rewards, you can't beat those because they help cover your costs. So
yeah, that's huge. I think you're exactly right about signing those distributors. That's just really what launches us into our biggest season. It's the energy that you leave with. It's what I believe in, the law of attraction. You have that positive energy, you have that positive spirit about you, and it's very attractive out there. And so that's exactly what it takes. It takes that positivity, it takes that desire, it takes that belief. And once you have that belief and that energy put together, and then the things that you've already done prior to conference, that's why right now is so important. The things that we're doing prior to conference, after conference, you're able to cash in, if you will, literally cash in what you've already done. So right now we're preparing for conference. And I know, Nate, those are people that you had already been talking. Some of them, most of them were probably people you were already talking to. Am I right?
Right.
And then after conference, you were just ready to go, and you couldn't help but message them again. Oh my gosh, we've got these bonuses. Oh my gosh, these promotions. You've got to join us. And people are like, yes, I'm in. And that's the key is right now, setting the foundation so that after conference, it's a done deal. So thank you for adding that.
I was just going to follow up with what you were saying. So a lot of times we're reaching out to people and they're not responding, or they're not giving us the answers that we want. And this is one of those moments in time where you can't take that personal. You just got to stay focused, keep in the loop, because payday is coming. And that payday is going to come after conference. And the beauty of social media is they're going to see a lot of activity happening, not just from you, but from other people. And then they're going to want to be in on that activity, and they're going to join your team. So
that's right.
That's exactly right. Thanks, Nate, for sharing. Thanks for sharing your experience of conference. It's way too beneficial to not. You can't miss it. Just don't miss it. So, all right. So, Renee, are you? I know you were at Target. Are you ready to share as to your experience? Let me see. Where are you? All right. There you go. Are you home?
I'm making baby food now.
Okay. Well, you're a lady. You can multitask. I wouldn't be able to.
Do what?
I said you're a mommy. You can multitask. I wouldn't be able to.
That's right. So first of all, if you were on Tina's call the other night, you heard me tell a little bit of my story. So I'm going to make it as succinct as possible. But so basically what happened was I had just joined the business in August of 2013. Those of you who know my story know that I sold 52 wraps my first month. And because I mini boosted and I bought a lot of the wrap rewards, like I bought all my wraps with wrap rewards, so I was able to turn an $800 profit. Now, throughout the month of August, I was paying daycare for that, with that. Then in the middle of September, we had an OTOM in Chattanooga, and Melody McFarlane was there, and she talked about the importance, kind of like tonight's call. And I had been in the company less than 2 months, but that night ended early bird. So I went home and I told Jason that we needed to go. And so I used my profit from my wraps, what was left of it, and my wrap cash, and I bought conference tickets at the early bird price, and they were a little bit cheaper than they are now. And I also bought plane tickets. So we did all of that, and then I'm sorry. And then, so we go, and I still had not gotten the whole, vision of what any of that meant. I came from a direct sales experience with a makeup company. And so my philosophy was sell and make the profit, which is obviously what I did because I sold a lot of wraps. But I didn't understand the concept of residual income through building a team. And so a couple things happened to me at that first conference. I saw the importance of building a team because you can make a lot of money with Wrap Cash and loyal customer commissions, but you can make astronomical money once you start building a team, and it all starts with fast start bonuses. So I got the big picture, but I also fell in love with the heart of the company. It blew my mind that they started the conference with a 2-hour-long worship service. It blew my mind that first day, the first segment was about the charities and organizations that our company sponsors. Selah Freedom and Children's Cup are the two main companies that we sponsor. And Selah Freedom is a company that helps with rescued sex trafficked women, and Children's Cup works with orphanages and poverty-stricken people, children specifically. And so I fell in love with the heart of the company. Came back home, and by May I had promoted to Emerald. And fast forward to conference of the next year, and I went in with, I was Emerald, right? Like I thought I was something because I had promoted and I was building a team and I was leader, and I still didn't get it. I still didn't understand that bigger picture even than what I saw the first year. And I think the biggest thing missing for me was belief in myself. And it's really interesting, the things that, and I'm going to put this on a spiritual level because I really believe that our company and our business parallels with Christianity a lot. We are a Christian affiliated or Christian business. But you have to understand that there's a lot of things that parallel with your walk in Christ. And I didn't get the big picture about believing in myself and that there was more to this business for me than just making more money. Mm-hmm. And so throughout that conference, because my issue was a lack of belief, that's what I kept hearing. I kept hearing belief, 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 belief. And then after the white party, Melody McFarlane, who you guys all know is our ambassador upline, she was the very first ambassador. She's the number 4 or 5 income earner in the company. And she comes up to me and gives me a big old hug and says, I'm going to see you on stage next year. And that just kind of struck a chord with me. And I was like, oh my gosh, Melody McFarlane believes in me. Mm-hmm. And then throughout that entire weekend, Lori and Eric, Anthony and Susan, Tina and Bubba had been saying, Renee, you have got this. You are everything. You're ready for the harvest. Just go get it. It's yours. Mm-hmm. And then the final straw was Cindy Pentecost and Mark and Luis came to a team dinner party that Tina had. And Cindy prayed over the dinner and said, God, give us the faith to believe. And I remember, I don't know if you guys remember asking us to do this, but we were asked to make a video about what we were claiming. Mm-hmm. And I claimed right then and there that I was going double diamond. We were going to earn, I can't remember, it was something like 50 or 60,000 in bonuses. And so conference was in January of that year. I came back and, I had team with me too. When Anthony says it's important to have team there, it's important to have team there, not just because it helps you promote, but it's so powerful because the more that you promote and the further that you go in this business, it's so much less about you.
Mm-hmm.
And your heart begins to change.
Yeah.
And so to see the successes and to see the changes that it made in my team who were there was life-changing. But we came back and promoted to Diamond in January or February. So I got the $20,000 bonus there. And then came around and turned around in March and promoted to Double Diamond. Jason promoted to Emerald. So we were bringing in Double Diamond and Emerald check. And Jason, at that point, we were wanting to try to get pregnant. And I had this, all of a sudden now I want to retire. And he said, well, if you can keep making this kind of money, you can retire. And then we got pregnant in that summer. And God's timing is so impeccable. It amazes me how everything lined up, from that conference to the promotions to not getting pregnant until July, being able to work that semester, then being able to retire after being off of work for 5 months on maternity leave. Everything was preordained, and I believe that God lines things up. He knows our steps before we even walk in them. And that, for me, I can honestly say without a shadow of a doubt, if I had not gone to conference, I would not be retired. I wouldn't be a Double Diamond. And that's because I would have never found that belief. There was a series of events that happened at conference that resonated with my spirit, that lit a fire and resonated with the people on my team. And we came home and we got to work. And it's still to this day, I don't miss events. Even local Nashville ones that are not big events, I try to make it to, just because you can't pour into other people if you're empty.
That's right.
You were talking about how God had everything ordained and ready for you. The only thing that was missing was your belief. And I think that's exactly what solidified all the plans that you had been asking for, all the things that he knew your heart, right? He knew exactly what you had desired. And I believe that he put those desires in there for you. He just was waiting for you to have the belief. And so once you had the belief, number one, in him, but I think It Works was used as the tool for you to have the belief that it can happen. And that was it, that it can happen, and that It Works actually helped you instill your belief in him, number one. You talked about Thursday, and then in the business and the company, and everything else fell into place, because what God already had for you, he was just waiting for your faith. And that faith happened. The faith to believe what you were asking for happened, because you had other people also interceding with you, for you, pushing you, lifting you up. And that's the beauty of this business. That's the beauty of events. That's the beauty of conference. And there's another example of what conference can do, will do, if you allow it to. The difference with Renee is that she was open. She was ready. She took that step of faith and said, look, I've only been in a few months, but I'm going to take this step of faith, because my upline, not just us, but all the way up, said you got to go because it matters. And so when people have what you want, right, you kind of say, okay, they did it, so I must need to follow those footsteps if I want to do it. And so that's kind of how this business goes. And so that's why we're admonishing you, encouraging you, and telling you as a team how important it is for you to go to conference. Again, like Renee said very, very well, not because it means a paycheck for us, because it means a paycheck and freedom and other things outside of just money for you. It really does. It's brought Susan and I closer than we ever have been before, and working in a company that we've always knew we had something more to give. We never thought that it would be a network marketing company. But here we are working hand in hand together towards something. When we got married, we were meant for more, and this is what God had in store for us. And so,
and Renee, what happened right before conference? Do you remember the conversations that you and I had over several conversations from November to December, especially, probably the end of October? Do you remember before that not your first conference, but right before your second, when you were kind of in a dry spell. And I know some of these new people don't know you not confident or don't know you as a superstar. So talk about some of those conversations that you and I had right before that, the 2 months maybe leading into that conference.
Well, I want to say, first of all, I never stopped being consistent on social media.
Right.
So a lot of the people that came into my business had been watching me for a very long time. That maybe I had even talked to already. So staying consistent on social media. But what had happened is September, October, November, I started having a lot of doubt and fear and self-sabotage, not believing in myself, not believing that I was capable, because even though, and this is going to sound weird, I have 2 master's degrees, but I felt like I cheated my way through getting master's degrees. Not because I cheated. I just didn't give everything I had to it. Yeah. Because, we often have, and I had super high GPAs.
Right.
But for some reason, I felt like I did not give myself justice because I didn't give my all to it. And so that translated into my business as well. But leading up to that, you and I had multiple conversations on my lack of belief.
Right.
And that's what's funny is that I had conversations with you and Anthony and Lori and Eric and hi, Anne-Marie, Tina and Bubba, because we got together. And that's what else I wanted to add. You guys, conference is so much more than conference. It is about what you get to do after conference at night is over. It's that one-on-one time with leaders, because they just pour into you. When you're a leader at conference, you go from morning until night, because even when the conference is over, you're pouring into the people that are there. And that's exactly what happened. So every single afternoon and evening, we were hanging out, and some of those conversations are the ones that it's a big picture. You can't remove any of that and get to where going back to Tina saying I could double promote in months to months, diamond to double diamond.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Those conversations, the after event conversations, when everyone is feeling good, everyone is feeling, and you're able to have those one-on-one conversations with some of those top earners, those people who've done what you want to do, and put ideas in your head that you never thought were possible. You're like,
right.
Oh snap! Double promote. Okay,
Right.
Those are key. Those are life-changing conversations. And you're gonna find somebody that you connect with on stage. You're gonna want to try to meet them. You're gonna find different people that you've seen on social media that you've been following, and you're gonna have an opportunity to meet them and say hey, and maybe pick their brain a little bit. It's gonna be crazy. So you might not have a lot of time with them, but it's those after-hour events, maybe at the restaurants, maybe at in the middle of the hotel lobbies, those kinds of things. There's just so much more than just the actual event. Like you said, they're the big picture. It's everything encompassed together that makes conference the special event that it is. Not just the fact that you're going in, taking notes, and walking out. It's all the thing put together, eating together and laughing and drinking and being merry, all that kind of stuff, right? Just having a good time together, praying together and growing together and crying together. You're going through an adventure together in just that one weekend. You're getting to know each other that you've never known before, and it's a special moment. I know my leadership team would not be as close as it is if it had not been for these events, and being intentional with that. And so, thank you so much, Renee, for sharing your story, because I knew it was a very powerful one, and it means a lot that you would share that for us. So thank you.
Thanks.
So I think we don't need to belabor this this any longer. You understand just by the three of us that have been able to speak to you about conference. There are many of us that have gone to conference that weren't able to get on. That I asked them if they could get on. They weren't able to get on tonight due to other obligations. Let me see. Go ahead, Renee. You want to say something?
Stephanie Wilson is on, and for those of you guys who don't know Stephanie, she lives local. Last year, she was not able to get the conference tickets. It's one of those situations where they sold out too quick, and she bought the pay-per-view and came to the convention center.
That's right.
In the lobby.
Yes.
Watched it, and then would hang out with all of us because she and going back to green carpets shortly after she signed up, like 2 weeks before, tickets were sold out. She showed up on the day of green carpet, waited for everybody to get in to see if they would let her in. And you know what I'm saying? And look at her now. She just promoted. She's got a lot of growth going on in her team. She's pushing towards Emerald. And, you know, she just made it to the Bubba retreat. So, yeah, Stephanie has a crazy story, too, because she watched it on pay-per-view.
You know, I totally forgot about that. That is one of the most amazing things. I remember now that you said, oh, my gosh, because I was like, she's outside? So she watched the whole conference outside, you know, in the lobby, and then met us outside when we left, and whenever we went to lunch or dinner or breaks, she was out there. I was like, I totally forgot about that. And that is so amazing, and it's so true of your dedication and the person that you are. Talk a little bit about that and what that was like and why it seemed like it was worth it and why you would go through all that trouble to go.
Okay. Am I unmuted?
You are.
I have no idea.
Yeah, you are.
Okay. So when I first joined, I joined in July of last year, right, 2015, and I just wanted to be around everybody. You know, I heard about green carpet. I knew Renee was coming into town. She's in Tennessee. I'm in Florida. So I was like, I have to go. I have to go to green carpet. I have to experience this. I need to know what it's all about. I actually had researched the company like 2 weeks before I even joined. Renee had no idea that I was like a 10, that I wanted to join. It was funny. And anyway, so went to green carpet, loved it, was just on fire. And then when the conference tickets went on sale, I did not have the money. And I was really bummed that they sold out in 100 hours because they had released the tickets before our commissions, you know. So I was like, oh, I didn't save the money. But I had gone to It Works You in September up in Nashville too. So like, I know it's so important, you know, to connect and to go to events and everything. So anyway, so I didn't get my tickets, but I was like, you know what? I don't care. Like it's Tampa. It's 20 minutes for me. I need to be around everybody. So, you know, I didn't go Thursday night for worship, but on Friday morning I was there, had my tablet, had pay-per-view. I said, I'll just sit out here. And, you know, the funny thing is, so on Saturday, when everything was getting wrapped up or whatever, like a security guard actually stopped me and he said, where's your wristband? I said, I don't have one, but I've been here all weekend. I said, I've been sitting over there. Haven't you seen me? And he was like, you're not supposed to be here, but I'll let you go. It was funny that they really didn't want me to be there, but it is so important. I'm going to buy my tickets first thing when they come out on Sunday. I have the money all set aside. I'm ready. So it's important. It's absolutely important to come and be connected and meet people and just be around your team no matter where you're at.
And by the way, a little birdie told me that tickets are going on sale at 3:05.
I heard.
3:05 on the 16th?
On Sunday.
Gotcha. I love it.
Oh.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I totally forgot about that. Thank you, Renee, for reminding us. That is true dedication, true desire to win, and we're seeing the fruit of that right now, and it's only the beginning for you. So I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to seeing you again this year, sitting next to us this time.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, that's there again. You know, it's just story after story, and we could go on and on. And the guys, you just need to be there. You've got to make sure that you get your teams there. That's the most important thing, is you to get there. You know, it's kind of like, you know, in the airplane, you got to make sure you got your oxygen, and then you got to put your oxygen on somebody else to make sure they're good, right? Your kid. That's kind of the way you got to make sure you get there, but you got to do your best to make sure other people have got their oxygen and they can get there. Okay, make sure that you do what you can to get there. And we have almost, you know, a little less than a week, you know, to sell some wraps, to sell some product, whatever you got to do to get there, right? Sell a shirt, a kidney. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Whatever you got to do to have a yard sale, right, to get that party started, to get there. I mean, just honestly, it will matter. If not, you know, there'll be pay-per-view, but don't. It's not the same. It really isn't. I'm assuming they're going to be pay-per-view. I haven't seen anything on it yet, but you want to make sure that you're there, because it will change your life. It works will change your life. I've made so many relationships there like I never would have had. You know, the Pruitts and that kind of stuff. You know, people who are going to be pouring into us. And right now, I tentatively have a special guest for another ambassador top 20-something earner as well next week as well. So those are your on here, an exclusive knowledge of that. We're trying to solidify the details, but it's going to be pretty awesome. So anyways, that's all I've got for you guys. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat, and then we'll go from there. Renee, you got something there.
Something else. Okay, so Danielle, who's up in Knoxville, is taking a potential on Thursday to Nashville. They're having an open, like a wrap party / a little bit of training on doing online parties. So I'm going to be going. So if anybody wants to go to the wrap party / training in Nashville, and if you haven't met some of our top uplines, you know, I'm going to be driving, and I have a big car. So come with me and just PM me if you want to come, and holla at your girl.
Good. Thank you for putting that out there. I like it.